When God was handing out War DNA, Team First Play was spending its dinner money in the arcades, which is why come Mankind's final battle, we'll be as much use as half a monkey. The bad half. But that doesn't mean we suck at shooters. In fact, we love them, which is why we were extra pleased to speak to Mark Rogers, senior producer on tactical team shooter Socom Special Forces, about his upcoming game.
Essentially, the pillars of the Socom franchise themselves are team play. Really, that is at the core of this title. It permeates every part of it, from single player through to co-op. We have a very, very compelling 5-player co-op through to competitive multiplayer. Our game modes are much more team-orientated. They also have an arc. One of the game modes that we're showing today is Last Defense. With this, you have objectives that are set up in your level. They're basically given as A, B, and C. Your team's primary objective, initial objective, is to go out and essentially capture these 3 points. Once these points are captured, you can then push that advantage onto the enemy base. The enemy's base then becomes vulnerable, and then you can go through and then basically place a beacon in their base and order an airstrike upon it.
Ah, ordering in airstrikes. We remember our first one like it was yesterday. Those tiny blue men didn't have a chance. Wait, blue men? Moving on, we asked Mark about the implementation of 3D in Special Forces.
Our implementation of 3D can best be described as the second generation of 3D on PlayStation 3. We really leverage the hardware of the device to a much greater extent than the first generation. This allows us to have a full resolution of display. It's a high-def 3D. Also, there's no reduction in performance, and so you kind of get the best of both worlds. Again, it adds to the immersion. Plus, also, our move technologies and 3D technologies are completely compatible. You can play it throughout the game, both in multiplayer, that's co-op, L competitive, or in single player.
Of course, what Mark meant to say was the PlayStation Move motion controller. But why did Zipper choose to go big with the device?
We are very interested in Move Controller because, when people pick up a Move Controller, they initially feel that it's, it's very casual. It's something for them. They can basically use it and control this game. So they come with an expectation of being able to kind of interact with the game in a very positive way. We actually were involved quite early within the Move development. We got Move units relatively early, and we were given a lot of options about how to support it. When we looked at the Move and the more we got to use it, the more we thought that we could actually go through and do a complete implementation with Move. We thought that the controller itself was very viable, and we just really wanted to rise to the challenge of it. I think that people have been very, very pleased with our implementation, and I think it's really proved that the technology and that form of input is as viable and as DualShock. A lot of people talk about whether or not one is better than the other, and I don't think it really comes down to that. It really comes down to immersion. If you're really wanting a very, very immersive experience, the Move controller really does allow that. It's an aiming and pointing device. It allows you to quickly select, targets on screen and track them. Also, the variation in your hand movement, because of the accuracy of the device, is translated into the sights on screen, and it really adds up to a very immersive experience. We've been playing a large number of games now between Move players and also DualShock players, and really the quality of the play itself is dependent on the player rather than the input device. And so, we found them very comparable. Some people prefer Move, and some people prefer DualShock. People have thousands of hours on a DualShock. They're almost hardwired into the device. It's an extremely good controller. I think that DualShock players are definitely going to have an advantage. What happens over time as we have Move players that actually play on the device for many, many hours is to be seen.
Thanks, Mark. Socom Special Forces will be out in April, and you'll find us avoiding